Hello, folks. Welcome to Vino Experienza with David Alexander. Coming to you from a friend's house here in Woodcrest. My wife is going to be doing some house sitting here, and I thought it'd be a beautiful location to do our last video in this series of the wine through history. I've been always excited about looking how wine has impacted human civilization because as we began the series, look back 6,000 years to the Caucasus Mountains and the time of Noah, and the fact that he planted a vineyard, maybe the grape that he could have planted could be the Irene grape. And we are finishing up here in this last video of this series in California. And what better place? California has some incredible wines, and the history is rich and deep. So let me share with that some of that with you, and then we're going to taste some incredible California wine. Okay, California history actually begins back in 1779. Believe it or not, a man by the name of Junipero Serra, who was a Franciscan missionary, planted missions. Many of us study this in sixth grade in schools here in California. We built our little missions and talked about these incredible missionaries coming from Europe, coming to plant churches in California. Well, anyway, Mr. Serra was actually the first person to plant a vineyard in California, believe it or not, in San Juan Capistrano in the year 1779. They planted this little grape called the Missionario, and it was used for communal wine. And they planted those grapes all along the coast of California. And in fact, that particular grape actually became one of the first grapes used for commercial wine production in California. A man by the name of Isidro Reyes in 1829 planted 17 acres at Mission of the Mission grape in the Pueblo de Los Angeles. Believe it or not, Los Angeles was the first key location for commercial wine production in California. He actually started that work with another man that we'll be talking about in a moment. Well, in 1848, things changed in California big time. That was the year of the gold rush. San Francisco, a little sleepy town of 1,000 people in 2 years, became a town of 25,000 people, grew 25 times in the course of 2 years. And in the course of those 2 years, the wine production in California shifted, due in part to a man named Augustin Haraszthy. He is actually Hungarian, immigrated, businessman, also politician. He actually was working with Mr. Reyes in Los Angeles, producing wine, and he bought a little piece of property up in Sonoma, and that was in 1856. He bought that piece of property. He named it Buena Vista, and Buena Vista became the first premium winery in California, producing some of the world-class wines. Did real well in the showing. I believe they were also part of the showing in the 1976 uh, um, competition in Paris as well. But fantastic little winery. And he actually brought 300 varietals of European grapes to California, introducing some of the finest grapes from Europe here in California. And so that is basically the history of California winemaking. And it has grown, it has leaped in production, obviously becoming to be one of the premier locations for wine production throughout the world. And now I want to talk about this wine we're going to be tasting right now. Um, I got a chance to spend time with this winery owner the other day at our store in Total Wine in Brea. And I just love his philosophy on wine. We're going to be tasting Westerly today. And what I like about this particular wine, this is a 2018 vintage. It is hard to find 2018s around anymore. Most of them have all been drank up. We drank them up during COVID, and there's not many left. Um, and so, anyway, this is from Happy Canyon in Santa Barbara, and beautiful, beautiful wine. One of my colleagues actually called it the Russian Imperial Stout of California cabs because it's such a dynamic profile in the wine taste, the flavor of this wine. And what I like about it is when I was talking to Michael about his philosophy, um, a lot of wineries in California, due to um, maintaining a uniform flavor profile and also just consistency in the wine that from year to year, use a lot of concentrates and flavorings in their wine. Michael is not one of those. Michael Sparkman is a person who is going to create very pure wine without those additives, without those concentrates. And so this is a wonderful reflection of Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's just taste this real quick. That is a beautiful cab. Nice expression. Now, Santa Barbara is going to maintain a little bit more of the acidity of the wine, the minerality on this. You can actually taste a little bit more of the earthiness in this wine. In fact, the flavor profile on this is a concentrated plum raspberry with herbs. And that really translates into this really nice earthiness of this wine. You know what I would love to have with this would be some beef stroganoff. I would actually use some of this in the cooking of the beef, let that really penetrate, saute that meat with some of this wine, and then have that with a nice red wine gravy sauce over some egg noodles, including some nice mushrooms in there that really give it that earthy kind of a texture to the dish. And this wine will just work swimmingly with that dish. Again, this is Westerly Cabernet Sauvignon 2018. Let's have one more taste. Great bottle. Available for $49.99 at Total Wine and More. Fantastic bottle. And we are going to finish this series. And now we're going to go on to some other topics. I'm going to probably, I was thinking next time we'll concentrate maybe on some Spanish wines, some incredible values in the wine market right now, Spanish wines. So our next video will actually be on Spanish wines. We'll taste, I think I'll have at least a couple of those Spanish wines to taste as we go through. Thank you so much. Subscribe to our channel. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, following along with this. Have a good day. Cheers.